Today we will discuss coupled amplifiers. There are two types of coupled amplifiers: capacitively coupled amplifiers and direct coupled amplifiers. So number one is capacitively coupled amplifiers, in which the two stages are basically connected with the help of a capacitor. So the purpose of capacitor here is to block DC as well as to maintain a potential difference between the two terminals of stages, the output of one stage and the input of the another stage. Suppose we want the output of Q1 to be at 8 volt and the input of Q2 at 3 volt. So there must be a potential drop of 5 volt across 0.85 microfarad to maintain a 3 volt drop at the input of Q2 stage. So basically here this is an example in which there are two stages of amplifiers. Stage 1 is simple common emitter amplifier stage, and the stage 2 is voltage divider by stage with RE2 connected with emitter terminal. Both are common emitter amplifiers. So they are connected through a 0.85 microfarad capacitor. Both have identical transistors with beta is equal to 100 and RC is equal to 1 megaohm. We have to find VL over VS, overall voltage gain as well as overall current gain in this example. So we will start with overall voltage gain. For this, first we have to find the value of RE dash, and for this we have to find the value of collector current. With the IC1 for stage 1 is simply equal to beta times IB1, and IB1 is VCC minus VBE divided by RB1. Beta is 100 and VCC is 12, and RB1 is 620 kilo ohms. So IC1 is 1.82 milliamperes. RE dash, the emitter resistance for Q1 will be equal to 26 millivolt divided by IE1 or IC1, both are equal, so it is equal to 14.3 ohms. So input stage resistance for this first stage will be equal to RB1 parallel with beta RE dash. Beta RE dash is basically the input resistance of Q1. So this is R in 1 is equal to 1.43 kilo ohms. Now the output resistance of first stage, we have to find the R out 1 here at this point. For stage 1 is equal to RC1 parallel with small rc, the collector resistance, the internal collector resistance of Q1 divided by beta, that is equal to 3.3 kilo ohms parallel with 1 mega divided by 100, and it is equal to 2.48 kilo ohms. As you can see that the emitter resistance on the input side is multiplied by beta, so the output resistance, internal resistance of collector will be divided by beta on the output side. So now for Q2, again we have to find the value of input resistance and output resistance, and for this first we have to find the V Thevenin, which is equal to R2 over R1 plus R2 into VCC, and it is equal to 1.54 volt. RB2 is parallel combination of R1 and R2, and IC2, the collector current for Q2, the second stage, is equal to V Thevenin minus VBE divided by RE2 plus RB2 divided by beta, and it is equal to 2.73 milliamperes. So next we will find the internal resistance of emitter for second transistor, and it is equal to 9.5 ohms. Now the input resistance for stage 2 will be equal to RB2 plus parallel with beta times RE dash plus RE2. Here instead of RF we have RE2, so we have written RE2 instead of RF, and it is equal to 6.32 kilo ohm. This is the input stage resistance for second stage, and the output stage resistance for second stage will be equal to RC2 parallel with RC over beta, and it is equal to 1.8 kilo ohms. Now this is the overall AC equivalent model for these two connected stages. This is stage number 1, this is stage number 2, and this is load resistance, and this is the source side. So as you can see, we have connected dependent sources beta IB1 and beta IB2 with both stages on the output side, and on the input side is connected beta RE dash RB, and for second stage on the input side is beta RE dash plus RE2. This is RE2 in parallel with R2 and R1, and on the output side is RC over beta parallel with RC2, the collector resistance of second stage, and RL. Now RL1, the AC load resistance for first stage, will be equal to R out 1 parallel with R1 and R2, and also parallel with beta times RE dash plus RE. So this parallel combination is basically equal to R in 1 to the input resistance of second stage. So the load resistance for first stage is equal to output resistance of first stage and the in parallel combination of input resistance of second stage. So this is equal to 1.78 kilo ohms. Now the load resistance for the AC load resistance for second stage is equal to the output resistance of second stage in parallel with RL, and it is equal to 1.74 kilo ohms. So simply the gain for first stage is the gain, we are here using the gain formula for common emitter amplifier with no emitter resistance, no voltage divider bias, and it is equal to minus RL1 over RE1 dash and minus 124.5. The gain for second stage including the load resistance is equal to minus RL2 divided by RE2 dash plus RF. This is basically RE2 is RF, and it is equal to minus 7.58. Now overall voltage gain from load to source, we have already included the load, so we will now include the source side. Now the VL over Vs will be equal to R in 1 divided by R in 1 plus Rs into A1 and A2, and it is equal to 555. This is overall voltage gain. Next we will find the overall current gain. So again we will consider the same AC equivalent circuit for finding the branch currents and to find the overall current gain. Starting from this side, here IB1 is basically equal to, we will use the Kirchhoff's current law here, or you can use the current divider rule. So IB1 will be equal to RB divided by beta RE dash plus RB into IS. This current is divided between branches RB and beta RE dash. So IB1 will be equal to 0.9977 IS. Next is IC1. IC1 is flowing in this direction, and it is opposite to direction of beta IB1. So here we will write IC1 is basically equal to beta 1 times IB1. Beta 1 is 100, and this will be equal to 99.77 IS. IC is flowing in this direction. So next is the shunt resistance. The shunt resistance is basically the parallel combination of R out 1, R1, R2. So this is equal to 1.93 kilo ohms. Now we will find the value of IB2, which is flowing in the branch of beta RE dash plus RE. To find IB2 we will use the current division rule. This current is being divided in R shunt and beta Re dash plus Re. So using the same rule and multiplying this total current, we have used the negative direction because this is in this IC is in opposite direction with IB1. So here we have used the minus sign. Using current division rule, the value of current in this branch IB2 will be equal to minus 7.74 IS. Now IC2, the current flowing in this branch or in this direction, is now again opposite to that of beta IB2. IC2 is equal to beta 2 IB2, and it is equal to 100 times minus 7.74 IS, and it is equal to minus 774 IS. So now again this current will be divided in these three branches, and now we have to find the value of IL. So IL will be equal to parallel combination of these two branches divided by RL and plus parallel combination of these two branches. The same here into the total current, which is minus beta times IB2, because these both currents are in opposite direction. So we will write beta 2 IB2 minus beta 2 IB2, which is already negative, and multiplied by negative sign will be positive. So IL will be equal to 26.94 IS. IL over IS is equal to 26.94. So next is the case. So we have discussed the case of capacitively coupled transistors and stages. Now the next is direct coupling, in which one amplifier stage is directly connected to the second amplifier stage. So there are two practical configurations that employ direct coupling. One is common emitter to common collector configuration, in which the common emitter configuration is directly connected to the common collector stage. So in this case, as you can see that the collector of Q1 is directly connected with the base of Q2. So in this case, for Q1, IC1 will be equal to V Thevenin minus VBE divided by RE1 plus RB over beta 1. V Thevenin is R2 over R1 plus R2 into VCC. RB, as you know, is parallel combination of R1 and R2. V Thevenin we measure here is equal to VB1. IE2, the current flowing through RE2 is equal to VB2 minus VBE divided by RE2. So this is equal to VB2 minus VBE divided by RE2. So the VB2 is basically equal to VCC minus IC1. Through RC is flowing two currents, IC1 and IB2. So VCC minus RC multiplied by IC1 plus IB2 minus VBE divided by RE2 is equal to IE2. So through RC are flowing two currents. One is the base current of Q2 and one is the collector current of IC1 of first stage. Now IE2 is written again here, but you know that IB2 is equal to IE2 divided by beta 2 plus 1. So we have which is approximately equal to IE2 divided by beta 2. So we have put the value of this IB2 here, and we will have IE2 after simplification and taking common IE2 from these two expressions. So IE2 will be equal to, after simplification, VCC minus IC1 RC minus VBE divided by RE2 plus RC over beta. So in this case, the overall voltage gain will be product of gains of both stages. For first stage of common emitter configuration with partly bypassed emitter resistance, this is the overall voltage gain, as you have already found it. This is the first stage of common emitter amplifier with partly bypassed emitter resistance. And for second stage, which is common collector stage, this is the overall voltage gain from load to source. So RL2 divided by RA2 dash plus RL2. Now you have to take care that what is the value of RL1 in this case. So RL1 is basically the parallel combination of RC and the input resistance of second stage. The output resistance of first stage in parallel with input resistance of second stage, which is basically acting as a load on first stage. As you know, the AC load resistance is equal to RC parallel with RL. Now RL is basically the input resistance, the stage resistance of second stage. So R in 2 is equal to, for second stage of common collector amplifier, you know that our input stage resistance is basically beta times RE dash plus RL. So in this case, beta is beta 2, R is RE2 dash, and RL is RL2. Now again RL2, which is the AC load resistance of second stage, it will be equal to parallel combination of RE2 and RL. So you have to take care while solving the coupled amplifiers that what is the load resistance of first stage and what is the input resistance of second stage, what is the load resistance of second stage, etc. Next is the configuration, and that is used for high value of beta, where the high value of beta is required, and it is called the Arlington pair. In this configuration, the collectors of two BJTs are tied together and the emitter of one is connected with the base of the other transistor, and there are when the two transistors are tied together, there are single terminals on the output side. One is the collector terminal, which is basically obtained after connecting two collector terminals of the two transistors. The base terminal is base of the first transistor Q1, and the emitter terminal is basically the emitter of the second transistor. So this is basically used as single transistors in chips and in different configurations, and these are used where the high value of beta is required. So in this case, for first transistor, IC1 is beta 1 times IB1, IE1 is beta 1 plus I into IB1, but as you know that IE1 is equal to the emitter current of first transistor is equal to base current of second. So IC2 will be equal to beta 2 times IB2, and you will put the value of IB2 as IE1, which is equal to beta 1 plus 1. We have put the value of beta 1 plus 1 here into IB1. Now IC is basically the sum of IC1 and IC2. So it is equal to, putting the value of IC1 and IC2 here, IC will be equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 into beta 1 plus beta 2 into IB. Since IB1 is equal to IB, so we have put the value of IB instead of IB1. So the beta of the Darlington pair will be simply equal to this value, as we will divide IC with IB. So beta of Darlington pair will be equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 plus beta 1 times beta 2. As beta 1 beta 2 is much greater than this value, so approximately the beta of Darlington pair will be equal to the product of both betas, beta 1 and beta 2. When Darlington pair is fabricated on a single chip, then both transistors are matched with beta 1 is equal to beta 2. In this case, the beta of the Darlington pair will be equal to beta square plus 2 beta, which will be approximately equal to beta square. So if beta 1 is equal to beta 2 and is equal to 100, then beta of Darlington pair will be equal to 10,200, which is approximately equal to 10,000. It is equal to beta square. Now the emitter resistance for first transistor Q1 will be equal to RE1 dash, and it is equal to 26 millivolt divided by IA1. RE2 dash is equal to 26 millivolt divided by IE2. So input resistance for first transistor is beta 2 times RE2 dash. Since IE2 is beta 2 times IB2, since IE2 dash is equal to beta 2 times IB2 dash, IB2, and putting the value of IE1 instead of IB2. So as you know that IE1, from this expression, when we put IE1 instead of IB2, we will have IE1 as IE2 divided by beta 2. So we will put the value of IE1 here, this value. So RE1 dash will be equal to beta 2 times RE2 dash. It means the relationship between RE2 dash and RE1 dash depends upon the value of beta 2. Now the input resistance of Darlington pair will be equal to beta 1 times RE1 dash plus input resistance of second transistor, so which is equal to beta 2 times RE2 dash. So RE1 dash is equal to beta 2 times RE2 dash. So our input resistance of Darlington pair is 2 times beta 1 beta 2 into RE2 dash. Now this is the emitter resistance of whole Darlington pair, which will be equal to input stage resistance of Darlington pair divided by beta of Darlington pair. So you have already calculated the input stage resistance of Darlington pair, which is equal to this value. So divided by beta of Darlington pair, it is with the RE emitter resistance of Darlington pair is equal to RE2 dash. Now the overall current gain for this Darlington pair is equal to, basically output current in this case is the emitter current of second transistor divided by base current of first transistor, and it is equal to IE2 divided by IE1 multiplied by IE1 over IB1, as IE1 is equal to IB2. So we will put the value of IB2 here instead of IE1. This is beta 1 plus 1, this is beta 2 plus 2, this is beta 2 plus 1. So next there is an example in which a common emitter amplifier with partly bypass emitter resistance is directly coupled with a Darlington pair which is connected as a common collector configuration. You can see that this is connected as a common collector configuration with 3.3 kilo ohms as RB, 47 ohms as RE, and a load resistance RL. So in this case we have to find the value of overall voltage gain. The value of beta 1 for Q1 is 200, beta 2 is 100, and beta 3 is 300. So for first stage we have to find the value of VThevenin, which is equal to 2.6 volt. RB is 8.25 kilo ohms. In this case, for first stage, IC1 is equal to IE1 and can be found from this formula, which is equal to 1.95 milliamperes. Now the emitter resistance for first stage will be equal to 26 millivolt divided by IE1, and it is equal to 13.7 ohms. Next, the input stage resistance for first stage will be equal to RB in parallel with beta 1 times RE dash plus RF, and it is equal to 5.48 kilo ohms. Now the base voltage for the second stage is equal to base voltage for the second stage is equal to VCC minus IC1 times 3.3 kilo ohms. IC1 times RC1. So this is VB2, the base voltage for the Darlington pair. So VE3, the voltage across the emitter, will be equal to VCC minus this will be basically equal to, this is VB2, minus 0.7 minus 0.7. This is the basically voltage drop across this resistance. So VE3 will be equal to VB2 minus 0.7 minus 0.7. VB2 is 8.7 minus 1.4 volt, which is equal to 7.3 volt. Now the current across RE3 will be equal to VE3 divided by RE3. It is equal to 155 milliamperes. Now RE3, the emitter resistance of third transistor, will be equal to 0.17 ohms. So the emitter resistance of the Darlington pair is 2 times RE2, which is RE3 in this case, and 2 times 0.17 is 0.34 ohms. Now the beta of Darlington pair is equal to multiplication of both betas of both transistors, which is Q2 and Q3 in this case, and the addition of beta of Q2 and Q3, and now it is equal to 10,000 into 200, 10,200. Now the input resistance for second stage or the Darlington pair is beta times Darlington pair, RE dash of Darlington pair, plus RE3 parallel with RL. This is small RL for Darlington pair. So this is input resistance of Darlington pair, which is equal to 330 kilo ohms. Now the gain for first stage is R minus RL1 including the load resistance. This is AC load resistance minus RL1 divided by RE1 dash plus RF. RL1 dash is basically parallel combination of RC1 and input stage resistance of second stage, which is Darlington pair, and it is acting as a load here. So this is equal to minus 40.4. Now the gain of Darlington pair, which is connected as common collector configuration, is equal to RL divided by RE Darlington pair plus RL. This is RL2, and RL2 is basically equal to parallel combination of RE3 and RL. We have already found the value of emitter resistance of Darlington pair, is equal to 0.34. So the gain for Darlington pair is equal to 0.99. Now the overall voltage gain will be found by multiplying these two gains and with the voltage division on the input side, which is equal to R in 1 divided by RS plus R in 1. We have already found the value of R in 1. So this is equal to minus 20.9. So in this example, we have found the value of overall voltage gain for a coupled amplifier configurations in which the common emitter amplifier is directly coupled with the Darlington pair, which is connected as a common collector configuration. So this is all for this lecture.